Lord, help me let it go.
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 Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Help me let it go. Yeah, let's get go. Yeah, let it go. Help me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Yeah, help me let it go. Go, 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 go. Oh, let it go. I'm tired, let it go. Give your heart to Jesus. Let him take control. Just sit and watch it. I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. No way to wait, so you have to let it go. Your best friend is not your secret enemies. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband are falling in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live in zero, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if they say you will continue to be a zogo, if they say you will continue to be a prostitute, if they say you will continue to be a beggar, you will not marry, you will not bear your own children. If they say your knee is borrow, some they go to meet it. Mommy can say no, Johnny, ginger. Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Help me let it go, man.
Yeah. Mighty blow. Holla, holla. Nobody do it like you do it, you a true God. Yes. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. But Genesis and they planted in this new world. Read the power every day, now while I'm still a good boy. Jehovah bigger than your problem, so just let it go. Just keep on praying, he will make your blessing overflow. To be the best and more the rest, you gotta pray more. The God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of mighty blow. But there is power in your blood, now while I'm giving praises. Yes. I gotta dance that David dance, they think I'm getting crazy. But love is how you make it, brother, may not be here. Every time I sing, I'm on my knees, begging God for mercy. Thank you for your love, blessing, and forgiveness. You solved my problem, Lord. You took me from the wilderness. Now only you can feel my struggle when I'm really stressed. So my papa bless me, then my enemy they get invest. No matter what the problem is, man, just let it go. Your delay is not your denial. Everybody know. Just keep on trusting in Jehovah. He will give you more. He took me from the grass. He can take you from the rock and roll. Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Your people are suffering, lying in the hospital, suffering from all kinds of sickness, Lord. Lord, help them. That sickness that rebelling you, I say, let it go. The barrenness, pack your load and go. Living the life of joblessness. Let it go. I say you spirit of suppression. Let it go. Spirit of denial, spirit of depression. Let it go, man. Oh, I'm tired. Pack your load and go. If you're picking, take your chemo. Let it go. Your best friend take your husband. Whatever. If your wife say we are not compatible, let her go. Your husband say you not matter. Just let it go.
Welcome to the show.
If someone built for you before.
LPR-TV. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for being here. Here comes our man, Tell Lion Tell Yakon. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. Take care of your husband and your children, fatherless.
How many of us are willing to let go? And this is by the songwriter Jemima Walker, right in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia.
It is people that you borrow someone your money. Oh, mama, they don't want to pay. You are become a boo-boo man. Your best friend is now your secret enemies. Your mother-in-law don't even want to see you. At your job side, they call you for nothing.
Good evening, good evening. Very shortly, we're going to get the program going right here on the Diaspora Informative News Network. I am Alfonso Zian, of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. Good evening. We want to welcome our viewers across the globe, the nations, and right here in the USA. I am your host, and Angola Alfonso Zienso, right here at the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. This is your informative news magazine. All things considered comes your way right here. Every Wednesday here from the East Coast of the Liberia Public Radio, the network that represents the odd, no voices being sanctioned. Good evening. It's 8:07 Eastern Standard Time. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners right across the globe. We say Victor, Ziat, our man Bangut. We have very committed and dedicated folks here, always keeping track of what we're doing. We so dearly and wholeheartedly appreciate your commitment, not to us, but to the motherland, Republic of Liberia. Without you, we can't just do it. And so sometimes when we are off on this cyberspace, it's like we are sick or something is terrible happening. So welcome to Ambassador Roosevelt Dan. Mr. Dan, when will you be? Everybody, are you carrying on registrations? Are you energizing your people? We need to have you here. Welcome, legendary soccer legend, Aaron Poplet. Good evening. Welcome, my dear brother. Thank you so much for your commitment to this network. Tia Liante, Agnes Kimant, Emmanuel Jala. Let's do a little bit of recognition here because it's very, very much essential and important to value the time of these people. They're not forced to come here. They get all kinds of Nyaman network and all here, the one that they're tired with this thing, making tour or everything over, but the commitment is there. So we want to make sure we give recognition here as well. Fred Nangbe, thank you so much. Jamint, Bert, Obins, Salentant, Jeremiah Roberts. Yeah, these are people, John Siaka. We say thank you so much, but do us a favor, and this is what we do this year. If everybody can hit the share button, just hit that button and invite someone at your company and tell them this is Liberia Public Radio right here. Okay, Victor, I'm watching from the East Coast. Okay, so right here you are with in proximity to New Jersey. I mean, the weather coming change. I will come for some pepper there. And of course, I mean, Arthur, always here. Guys, just do all this is the most important thing I will want for you. Just hit the share button. That's all about it. Hit the share button and invite someone. We are about to talk about your country, my country, our country. No one owns Liberia. Even the president, yes, we value his services. He is the chief administrator of the Republic of Liberia. That doesn't suggest he is the owner. We give him the country to take care of it, to manage it, to supervise and conduct the administrative affairs of the country. But he knows that. So all of us, we are the owner of that country. And this is why I told you guys, do not allow anyone to define who you are. Errands, you're just going to be an errand for yourself. All right? So don't allow anybody to define you. Trust me, you're just going to be a because you can better explain, you can better tell the narrative of who you are, what you represent, your value. Do not allow anyone to define you, because when that happens, it becomes a damage control. It consumes time. You're going to be talking and talking and talking because you want to clean out the dirt. And for here, we do not like people to clean out the dirt. It is about our country, and we want to know. Lawson Zilli, thank you so much for joining us here. Oh, I thought it's Hamilton, New Jersey. Okay, look at that, New Jersey, something that we need to move there. Yeah, I know, Pepper, the season coming change, so we're going to be going there. We want to thank you so much. This is All Things Considered, meaning we're going to be having, you will be participating here. Bato is also joining here. And a lot of things happening from Wednesday to Wednesday. Too much of drama unfolding. But we do not entertain too much entertainment on this network because a lot is going on already. What is the point? What is the need of adding more drama to the already chaotic situation when we should be keeping eyes on the ball as it relates to our country and discuss these issues? Interestingly, on this network, and for those as errant, as Atto, we don't usually tell you what you want to hear. I understand. We understand. People like for people to play into their narrative, their soundbite, their rare meat. But we see that as a very minimal level here. Why? Because too much is at stake. If I come here and beat the drum of CDC, Liberty Party, Unity Party, then people are being excluded outside of the process. Then people are being excluded outside of the process. And we want people to be inclusive, diverse and dissenting views. We are talking about a country, not Alfonso household, not Aaron household, how he used to play and why he missed the goal and all of that. No, no, no. We have passed that stage. We are talking about a country. And when you are discussing about a country, you have to get a thick skin. Not a little thing gets under your skin and you want to be distracted. No. You must listen to all views, all sides of the coin, whatever you come from. Party without chairman, party without secretary, parties without candidate. Yes, they say they are coming. We must listen to them, let what they have in store for us. And this is why we don't just convict people here without giving them the chance to have a conversation with them. We make it fair, balanced, and proportionate. And this is what we do here at LPR. That's the difference. We do not play in the narrative of politicians. We do not usually wait for politicians or people to come appear here before we talk. It doesn't suggest that we are not reaching out to them. Trust me. A phone call, if there's something people can display, but guess what? They are very selective. They want to find a place where people will just answer them, yeah, and then put words in their mouth, baby feed them. We don't spoon feed people here. We expect when you come on this network as a guest, be an adult, and you must answer critical questions why you want to be. So when we call them, just to let you know, maybe people might be wondering why I don't bring people, why I don't. Of course, and sometimes they consent. And in the dying meaning, guess what? They're scared you die because they have their surrogates, they have their supporter. Probably this guy is trying to get you into the lion's den. We don't convict people here without giving them. We allow people to tell their story. That's who we are, and that's what we want to do. And this is why sometimes when we call them, they scratch their hair and they go and consult their supporters, their surrogate. Say, you know, just tell him, say it, when we're ready, we'll let you know. Good evening to welcome. But notwithstanding, we are capable of believing in you. We can still have his narrative. If this is your first time on the network, you are rightfully placed, rightfully located. This is the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. This is what we do here. You can follow us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and our YouTube channel. Click on the live field. There are going to be an icon, which is a bell. You hit on that bell, there's going to be a drop down. Look for the option that says all notifications. That's the best option. Once you hit that and you want to routinely check it, you won't even believe. I myself sometimes we screwed up here because sometimes we go and watch different stuff. So it trickles at time and then it goes to selective notification. In that case, you will never be able to see what you want to do. But always hit any page you want to follow, not necessarily Liberia Public Radio. You can do it multiple times. Just hit all notifications. That will give you full access. As long that network, that page is on, you'll get signaled immediately. But you know what? Among my mother's children, I love myself the best. So go to Liberia Public Radio, hit the notification sign, select all notifications. I am Alfonso Zian, so let's get the ball rolling. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We want to thank many of our viewers and listeners for following us, for keeping with us. Despite of some of our talking points is to your political disadvantage, but yet and still you believe in us. And this is why you are always here. Without you, we can't just do it by ourselves. And so we are very, very much grateful of your commitment to this network. It is still incomplete. We have a lot to go. And I want to say a big thank you to all our senior analysts of the Liberia Public Radio. We started at a very low pace from the district level, transition to a county level, and then we took a second thought, why not be inclusive into the political conversations in Liberia? And that's how this name Liberia Public Radio came about. And here we are today. We have great sons, daughters, professionals, scholars coming on board to make this network to be what it is. It is remarkable. Cece Goyer from Minnesota, the liberal cause in Minnesota politician, brought a lot to the table. And then it was just by coincidence. One of our programs just, place in a car, and I just told him out of the sudden he came on and it was amazing. Right there, it captured my imagination to the extent that the legendary journalist in Liberia who listened to it say, hey, you need to go after this guy. And when I went, he came with an open mind. Here we are today. Not to mention Dr. George Toto. I placed a call. It was very timely. Like, I've been spinning, trying to check around as well to get back to the community. And I've come to realize LPR is the network to be with. Koto, Jalat, Balayant. All of these people call them and they all say, we come on board. They are giving. We are not giving to them. They are giving to this network. That's the interesting thing about it. Wilton Keto, the guy from the Constitution State, pro-GOL supporter. I mean, the same way. Amos George, he's a guy being from day one as well. His commitment from the far right, but they said there's no babush for a child, but he's a very good guy, and they are all being committed to the process. You have Dr. Turanka, Truth, knowing, hosting Mandela cohort, we got in touch with Dr. Turonka, and she becomes now the analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. Otilia Joy, Malik Jones, the list goes on. Not to forget the liberal progressive. The most ridiculous guy on this network, but he's still hanging in there. And so we are getting there from where we started from and where we find ourselves now. We're seeing a significant progress being made. And strictly, we are keeping to the point of the conversation. It's all about Liberia. We say thank you. Our viewers and listeners across the globe, Krangat, Orito Zina, and Jebagre, Sierra, good evening to welcome. We need more ladies on this network as analysts. Don't mind these guys. Look, trust me, if you sign out here, work out to date, Otilia and other folks, as long as I'm here, you're going to be protected. Protected in the sense that we're going to demand respect. They can call us, oh, you're for this party, you're for that. That is okay. But we don't allow people to insult people here. That's the only taboo. We have to always keep it more civic. That's the room for conversation, negotiation. You ever saw people going to conference before and taking all the forks and knives and things like that and throwing them one at one another? No. Literally, that's what we do in our political conversations in Liberia. And this is why we are experiencing what we are having. We can just be a little bit tolerant, respectful to one another's opinions. There are reasons why people are taking the positions they are taking. And so when we get upset and we are annoyed and we begin to convict them without giving them the opportunity to explain themselves, we are not even doing ourselves good because we will not know the hidden facts. And this is why we don't cut people off yet. We try to observe the timeline because we want to know much better how people think, how the process and how they take in. We want to know. But unless we accommodate these sort of conversations and allow them, give them that free space, not to impose our way and sanction their voices, we will not get anywhere. And that's what we do here. We say thank you so much for your commitment to this network and all what you do. What freedom. Look at the hairline there, Prince. What are the topics tonight? All things considered. You know, this network modeled the style of the National Public Radio. I remember there are a few trainings and stuff like that with them right here. They are everywhere. All the states, I can draw the conclusion to that. National Public Radio, if you have followed the trend of it, it's a network for all. You don't have to be government. They give voices to the underprivileged. You can call and say anything, even though it has been funded by local governments, federal, but it's a public network. And that's what we want to do. And it's extremely important. I'm not sure whether we even have one. Yes, I do note ELBC is a state-run radio. That should be a public network. You know, I said that yet, and these guys, some of my analysts here, because they have made a political pick, all of the politicians, Kennedys, representatives, senators, ministers, officials, everybody get a radio station. You know why they are doing that? It's because they want to control the narrative. They want to throw all of the red meat at you. And when I said these guys slam me, oh, freedom, but they said, hey, they said that. So now they all have your networks. Even those people in government, what they do not realize is the sustainability of this institution after they leave at power. Where is Case FM today? Let me bring in Malik Jones. You're going to tell me. Malik Jones is a senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio, based here in my own ocean state of Rhode Island. Mr. Jones, good evening.
Good evening, moderator. How are you today?
What happened to your camera today? The propo, well, your party, NEC not qualify you yet?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, notwithstanding, what is important is the message contained.
Yes.
They are coming, and the conversations is about to get on the way. A lot is ongoing. All of the conspiracy theory, the innuendos, the subliminal messages being put to rest. The president is being arrested. And this is why I just don't like people run without brakes. That's how when they're driving, they're going to slam into people. Let me go to Pittsburgh and bring in senior contributor and strong supporter of Councillor Tiawonse Gonglo. What are these guys waiting for? Why are they not having their running mate? What's going on? They don't have nobody. Let me know. Okay, let's see here. Dr. George Toto is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, support the candidacy of Councillor Tiawonse Gonglo. Gentlemen, good evening. Today is Friday. All things considered, and we're going to see how we're going to consider. Let's get this off here a little bit.
Are you saying today Friday?
Oh boy. Today's Wednesday. I want it. You know what I'm calling for Friday for?
Don't
No,
rush
there
it.
are a lot on the moderator mind.
Too much going on. I want for payday to for payday to go. Man, no people pay time, man. By the time Thursday, Friday, the messages will start coming. Okay, good evening, guys. Add our own dear friend, sister Esther Moat. Good evening. Thank you for being here. Why some of you can make yourself available here? Yeah, please come here. We shouldn't leave this conversation with these guys, with George Toto, Dr. George Toto. Octavia Malice John has been carefully driving his wheel. He hanging like a bar. He not decided. He's an undecided person, but his language, we will get there. You come help me. Let's talk to this guy. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Apostle.
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Toto.
Yeah.
All right, so let's be a little bit him on here. Let me start with home state. I don't want to get a little bit annoyed. Jones, how has it been? How everything so far? Let's see how the home and everything. How everything so far on your end?
Well, everything is fine, and I think I want to congratulate you too. My brother, I got a little brother that lives in Australia, and he been tracking the LPR, and because of that, they try to get some news. This is how most of them getting the news now from Liberia.
Yeah.
And he called me to tell me. I said, "Oh, that's good." I said, "Try to invite a whole lot of most of your friends, that watch this thing." It's like we try to analyze issue from back home. Yeah, and so he was highly appreciative.
That's good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just to add to what you were saying, I was in Philadelphia to go weekend for the celebration of the dual citizenship, and I was one of those that were honoring that program.
Why you didn't tell us? Dr. Toto, how can you do that to us?
Yeah, I didn't really know. It was surprised of me too, when I went according to those that contributed to the success of dual citizenship. I will call out and then apply what presented to me. But like why June is saying, when we come to our follower, I came across two of our supporters and followers and the program. They came to me and said, the LPR man.
Oh, yeah. The LPR man.
Yeah, I said, oh yeah, he said, oh yeah,
LPR.
Yeah, a gentleman and another female say, oh yeah, you guys will follow the program and you guys do extremely well. You keep on the good work to provide information to us. And when I keep talking 2 weeks ago, again, I think one of our followers called and showed that he didn't get the time to take a photo with me. So,
oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so even though we may look at it'll be a little sort of simple, but in big in the eyes of the people. So that's why it's important.
And trust me, that bigger thing is a couple of days, week, months to come. And we're going to hold it to our chest. We're not just sitting there talking yam.
Yeah,
We're nobody really in Liberia. Actually, we partnership with Sky, and the reason that the program for Sunday is not airing is my own schedule. That is not their fault. That's my fault. But a lot of people now that they are not reaching out, but we are not prepared as a public network to have our thoughts, our expressions, our views, our opinion being sanctioned or regulated. Talk this one here. Don't talk this. We are
Yeah.
not in our talking points. We are very calculative and look at what matters to the people, making it fair, balanced, and proportionate. However, the fairness, it might not suit your taste because of your own position that you take, which is understandable.
Definitely.
But if you see the media industry, how it looks like now, it tells me that we need to do more. We, to the back and like, we are causing more harm than even good. Instead of us informing, to educate and allow the people to make informed decisions, we are engaged in manipulation, fear tactics, falsehood, subliminal messages, and just make up things. The breaking news all day, news that doesn't even worth breaking.
Definitely. And
I go to the market, is to buy P4 that they are breaking news. The person want to eat their P4, they want to eat, it's crazy.
Yeah. And also the name of the network carry it all public.
Yes.
So
and we hope to do that.
carry it
Now,
all.
why we probably will pull a job right, but we are okay. We are hanging in there. There's a fullness of time, and like I said, we're going to ask for donation here, but we have to step in. We have to be more or less. We might have a reason which we should have. Okay, guys, as you know, Wednesday, all things considered, we always have include our folks to be part of the conversation as well here. But let's start in the playbook. Let me come to home state of Rhode Island. Jones Otavius Mallet. Let's look into your political diary from Wednesday to Wednesday. A lot of things being missing in actions. A lot of things being happening here. Sister Goya, look at it, man. He say a broom. They broom here, you start sweeping with a broom here. You don't sweep our breaches, or me. Okay, Mallet Jones, let's hear from you. What's in your playbook for this Wednesday? All things considered.
What is in my playbook tonight goes strictly to the panelists, especially the panelists that have developed political interest. First question. Yes, the first question is that the censor, as far as I'm concerned, is still within a provisional status. With all the normalities associated with the censor, my question to my panelists who are supporting the various groups, like Tier 1 Gongolo, Ambassador Joseph Boakai, and the political leader Alexander Kumi, why have they carved? Why have they compromised the inaccuracy of the censor, and they are all online getting voter registration card? Can they quit this election? I yield.
What? Did I hear you saying they should quit?
Yes. The censor is already abnormal. Associating with it is like you have legitimized your status, you have accepted it, and CDC is happy about that. My question now is, are you forced as a democratic institution waiting to take political power? Why can't you just quit this election because the censor is abnormal?
Okay, we're going to flip this coin because Ilole, I don't know which talking point you're coming from here, but you were very quick to point at Councilor.
Yes, I'm talking about the three front runner. Yes.
The three front runner. Okay, so what that is? Since the Gonglo guy is here, probably he wants to tap in. So, but let's go to Dr. Toto and hear his here. What's about these analysts who are not taking position? They're still observing the claim to be independence. Dr. Sese, Dr. Toto, let me come to you.
A lot of things happened last week and up to now, I think that's over 40. When you got about playboard, as they try to analyze when it comes to the status of the U.S. ambassador in Liberia, you know, we saw President Weah came here despite we're not getting real concrete information of a visit, whether it was CIA investigation of just to visit the CIA site, a whole lot of rumor. And while in the process, then we hear the U.S. ambassador being recalled, you know, and then the CIA ambassador also make a critical statement. He fear for the election, you know, that they will probably reach, but probably get to cross it when it comes to the funding, when it comes to the funding aspect. So when it comes to the election, you know, that's a critical part of it. If the election is not fund, I don't know what the government is doing up to now. They are not provide funding to carry on the process of the election, you know, especially the biometric registration process that going on right now. We saw the cheerleader some time ago were crying with the lawmaker that should not receive a dime from the government. So we don't know what is going on. This is a critical issue right now. And then we come also to we can have a 7-month window to the election. To me, things that's still looking difficult, you know, to accomplish some of those basic things that will make election be successful. So these are a playbook.
What are things that are making it difficult? Where is the liberal? Where your guy? Where your liberal friend? Where is liberal Mally Jones? Where is he? This guy said he came from Liberia. It looked like he's being initiated.
No, the liberal is digesting the platform right now, and he will soon be touching down.
The liberal working on engineering project for the Power Fee Highway Road.
Okay. He said when Ambassador Boyka is elected, he will be. Okay, so what a good talking point. And of course, we always accommodate our viewers, our listeners, their side as well. But a lot of things happening here. What happened to the Gloria Mususka case? Is our cases prematurely going down the drain?
I know.
What happens to the arms that were reportedly discovered? Why cases like this?
And then also I saw that Jefferson Kuchu is in the U.S. also to sue Council of Brother, maybe for defamation of character.
Okay, we'll wait and see.
So we'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. Okay, guys, thank you so much. But just to let you know, Freedom Watch returns already on this network. It will be at every Sunday. We are trying to step beyond the borderline and not just only talk to people in authorities, but people who also serve government to get their expertise, their take on wide range of issues. This Saturday, a Liberian contesting for the city council positions in Minnesota. He will be joining me here. City mayor, city council member. The Reverend Daniel Gobert will be my special guest this Saturday right here on the Diaspora Informative News outlet, Liberia Public Radio. I understand our own man, Sisse Goya. Sisse Pai, he came from implementing. He is the campaign manager. They're going to be here. And when it comes to election security, I do not want to be apprehensive. I do not want to be one of those to push this soundbite. There will be no elections. Election will be this. I have no evidence. I have no facts to suggest that, but we can talk about it. Former police chief of operation, one-time chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia, Abraham Kaludo Kromah, will be my guest. Sunday, right here, it's on the Liberia Informative News outlet, Liberia Public Radio, trying to step beyond the borderline. He was the chair of the election security to work closely in the last election. We're going to be getting his take, his views, opinions, and what needs to be done. Is he reaching out based on his experience to any seat officials to provide expertise? These are minimal, going to be a wide range of conversation here. So, let's come to you here, Mally Jones. You quick to throw this hook at the three polar. Now, let's ask you here. Have you established what is your true identity? We need to know as well. Where are you? Where do you stand? Do you have a party or not? Or are you still looking around? If you are looking around, how long we will be in this thing here? or you undercover person?
Oh, that's a good question, Mr. Moderator. As of now, I'm still an independent. I'm an independent mind Liberian. And as I told you the last time, I just don't want to join any party. I want to support an individual that is moving with something different. And I have three things sitting on my chest. If I see a political party that is prepared to implement the rejected Accra Peace Accord, where you have the TRC, you had the rehabilitation of the 16,000 ex-rebel, then I'll be drawing closer. If I also find a political party that is prepared to audit the outgoing government, that is prepared to recover our lost assets abroad, I'm prepared to join that political party. Then, if the party is also prepared to lay out a clear agenda, how they are going to prosecute corruption, then I'm prepared to go in that direction.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, on the criteria say Modern Security Council putting something in place. So we're going to scramble over it right now. All of these multiple parties that are participating, have you not heard anything specifically from them that meet your standards or your criteria? Or what is that?
Yeah, first of all, let's start with to answer your question, the answer is no. I have not found any political party, especially the three top political institutions. I have not heard any of them coming up with a clear-cut platform how they are going to prosecute corruption, how they are going to implement the TRC.
I thought those say can't or
Yes.
oh,
and it's like what I'm noticing now is like anybody coming to power right now, they're going to be business as usual. The education going to remain just like that. The corruption going to remain like that. They are all making general statement. We will prosecute corruption. We will bring reform. The question of how is conspicuously missing in their utterances.
Are you willing to put that forward? Are you willing to have those conversations in the interest of fairness? Because you seem to be drawing conclusion, and you're right, because they are not talking. This is where there's distractions and frustrations in all of our conversation. We should be engaging these politicians, especially those that are seeking state power, but nothing much is being done. We are being heavily distracted by their behavior, the behaviors of their supporters, their surrogates, their talking point. We are not talking the issues. They are not answering those questions that are really the ordinary Liberian needs. They are not answering those questions here. So let's look at the three major people, three or four. You have the Ethiopian president, you have Ambassador Boyka, you have Councillor Gonglo, you have Alexander Benedict Cummings of the ANC. Are you saying none of those people are addressing these concerns that you are having? And then we asked our Dr. Toto if his candidate is speaking in that direction or not. Have you not heard anything most likely from these candidates? Is that your argument?
Yeah, that is my argument. Let's first of all start with corruption. Because I noticed from my assessment, if you minimize or put corruption under control, you can get a whole lot going. So let's start with corruption. I have not seen any blueprint from any of these political leaders how they are going to chastise or discipline corruption in Liberia. I have not seen it. I stand to be corrected by Dr. Toto and his party.
Okay, let me get Dr. Photo in this phrase. Da?
I think on June, first of June, the other said that when it comes to fighting corruption or how to to deal with Liberia. Our candidate, Tewa Goglo, you can see his demonstration opening, from him, from just by carrying a broom.
Oh boy.
Just by carrying a broom alone, that's a sound of demonstration right there. You see Tewa Bell preaching all around, carrying a broom to sweep corruption all of Liberia. That's so that he may carry around from the land of Liberia. So if you follow him keenly and see the work that he has put in his campaign to area now corruption in Liberia, you probably want to join to be part of the team, And I don't know about when it comes to the other candidates like Boyka and Kobe Boyka, he was there for 12 years and he said that they spawned a lot of resources in the base of so many corruption. Also to when it comes to Alexander Kobe, I think the ANC also they are show some transparency. Everybody preaching corruption. Corruption is a key message that been preached by all the various candidates that come to the election here to their very platform. That they only take one global. I don't know how big or how you want to see it happening, But when it comes to preaching the message, they are carrying the message part of their platform, kind of put fighting corruption in Liberia. But let me just digress a little bit back to Jules opening statement we talk about.
Okay, yeah, wait. We valued our viewers and
Okay.
onliners' comments, and there are so many people choose the way they want to participate, and we really value that. Okay, this is Lawson Zilly. What can Brown do to part of cross rally?
The group.
Oh my God, Lawson! Yeah.
Lawson didn't understand that.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson.
Lawson didn't understand that we use a broom to sweep. You know how to broom the corner garbage and part it together. So that's the message there. Party corruption together, eliminate corruption. It may not be 100% eliminate, like Drew was saying, that will eradicate completely because we know the system that we have. But at least to try to minimize it, that's a key word. To try to minimize it.
Lawson, may you to change your tune.
Mr. Moderator, I have a question for Dr. Tutu.
Yeah.
Dr. Tutu is reminding me of the days of the old boys business as usual, like the liberal. Every single president that have come to the stage have talked about corruption.
Definitely.
But the question I'm asking tonight is how? Yes, you are sweeping. How are you going to translate the sweeping into minimizing corruption? How? For example, are you going to send some people to Bele Yala if they are found guilty of stealing government money? Are you going to sell some people's house and retrieve government money? Are you going to put people behind bars for longer years, 5, 6, 7 to 10 years for stealing? This is where I'm coming from. Because the issue of sweeping is symbolic. It's entertaining. It creates excitement. You see? And it's that I consider as business as usual. And Konkolo, I mean, your standard bearer is introducing is because he had not translated these things. He had not told me. I have not read it. How?
No, but
the will be translated into concrete terms.
Joseph, it's what I'm telling you. You're not following the platform. You're not following the standard bearer platform to see a policy, and also to account to how do we translate.
What is it?
Just explain to me, Dr. Tutu.
No, not just only you. Where's the platform?
If you go out on the standard bearer website, they have policy documenting there how to deal with some of the issue you mentioned. So when it comes to how do we translate your question into action about fighting corruption, Liberia have policy, they have law on the book to deal with corruption. All the various corruption, all the institutions that have been established in Liberia to fight corruption, like the GSC and other transparent organizations that have been established to fight corruption have law on the book how to deal with these things. But you can see from the previous government, people that have been breaking corruption, they have been, whether they have been investigated. We see the current government or previous government have taken action on everything. We saw about that Eddie Johnson said he came out so that she said she took the blame for her son for the mismanagement of
What next? Taking blame, then what next after taking blame?
And then nothing happened to that. Nothing happened to it. You know, there was no restitution that was made. There was no punishment put aside. But Tewa Goglo is a lawyer, and he know the law very well. So I would not say to the platform and say, oh, when somebody is caught in corruption or they will seize their property or they put it in jail, they have various laws on the book to deal with the issue how to fight corruption like Liberia, and that's why I think Tewa Goglo going to deal with the law on the book. Look, every law you think in Liberia is there. Just how having the Western world to have corruption, they have law to deal with various issues and things. They have the law in
enforcement. Is that an enforcement?
The enforcement aspect is the one that lacking in Liberia. Because government, from previous government, people don't want to enforce the law in Liberia how to deal with corruption. And all of that, just with the corruption, but other public, when it comes to other public policy, how people mismanage other institutions in Liberia. They have law to deal with the issue. I can recall when I was in Liberia, when we were on the radio station advocating for dual citizenship, it was the same for that Eddie Conqueror incident just broke up. And one of the quarter call and said, Eddie Conqueror just fled the country and went to America, and you guys advocate for dual citizenship. And my question, my response to that caller, I said, Liberia have a law to deal with that issue. How to, if they want to get any Congress from America to come fair trial Liberia, they could go through the justice system. There's a law that they're bringing America and Liberia when it comes to extradition. So we shouldn't say, oh, there's no law they want to deal with the issue of somebody embezzle or mismanage money from America, from Liberia, and run away to America. So the city we're going to fight corruption Liberia, there's a law there. But how do we enforce the laws?
To a point, I want you to be very clear with me here because you're trying to win me over. My question here is, what Tiawolo Gongolo going to do differently? The laws are on the book. I agree with you. Is he going to follow the law on the book to enforce it for corruption? What Tiawolo is going to do differently?
Or maybe let me enforce the law. And Dr. Toto, let me add a little layer on there now. Because you say it's quite true. Those laws are there, the enforcement aspect. Why those laws are not being enforced? And what are you hearing from councillors in terms of enforcement aspect?
The law will be for the reason why these laws are not being enforced in Liberia because people look at family connection, people look at friendship, and other things in Liberia. That's why they don't want to enforce the law in Liberia. You can remember some time ago, I think what President Weah or Eddie Johnson said, or I think President Weah made us able some time ago that we are all related in Liberia somehow. So it was difficult for you to enforce the laws in Liberia. I think what President Weah made us able to be corrected. So that's the same thing that in Liberia. We have people feel that they are connected to one another, so we kind of enforcement of laws in Liberia are very difficult to be implemented. But if you follow Tewa Goglo Kine, you are saying over and over, in his public announcement, his statement on media, social media, he have come and say he carrying a broom to sweep corruption, and anybody that caught in the act of corruption will face the law. That's why he said. Anybody that caught in the act of corruption will face the law.
Can we judge him, or can we question for more clarifications? He's the guy being involved more or less in the pro bono work, which is a good thing. Does that have any impact when he becomes the president of the Republic of Liberia? He's been providing free services to people. Yeah. Would that in any way influences decision making when somebody can, oh, Mr. President, yesterday, hey, you remember that time you didn't want to talk for me, now you're president, you can solve the problem. Will he compromise the law?
I don't think Tewa will do that, because if you follow him pro bono advocacy that he may carry on for people in Liberia, I think that they normally call him a poor man lawyer. He go by the law. He go by the law. So I don't think he will compromise integrity to that. To say, oh, because I'm a public lawyer, I will compromise corruption also. But he has said it over and over. That anybody that caught in the act of corruption, why he carrying a broom to sweep corruption, anybody that caught in the act of corruption will be dealt with and will face the law. He said,
How, Dr. Toto?
June, that's what I said. The policy is there. If the law say that June is caught in corruption and June should go to 10 years, first of all, you got to get them in a due process first. When somebody is caught, when somebody is arrested or charged for corruption, you have to get a due process. They have to go through court. When they go through due process, if they are found guilty, if the court come out with any kind of penalty or maybe the prosecutor come out with any kind of penalty for you to face work on the corruption, they won't say that he will make sure that that law take course on you.
Okay, a question. Before you come in, moderator, a question. Joe Gongolo worked in a government that was heavily loaded in corrupt practices. I did not see him one day to even come up with a blueprint and recommend it to the president that time, how he would suggest fighting corruption to even recommend it. Before you succeed with corruption in any setting, you must first of all reform the judiciary. Even the report that came up recently by the Human Rights Commission, by the State Department, the judiciary is corrupt. So how can His Excellency to be Tiawo Gongolo use the judiciary to punish corruption when the judiciary itself is corrupt?
Yeah. If you talk about that report, which year that report came out? If you follow Tiawo Gongolo Kinde, when you were the Solicitor General, when you were the Solicitor General during by the Justice Seri, he prosecuted cases, and if you, I don't think maybe you already follow him work very keenly when it comes to how he deal with the issue of corruption. He was Solicitor General, and that report, that State Department report you talking about, it did not emerge from our Johnson said. Even though I'm not doubting that corruption, there was a corruption in our government, but when it comes to fighting corruption, it's a systematic process issue to deal with in Liberia. And
but you think Tiawo Gongolo believe that the judiciary is corrupt?
The judiciary is corrupt. I would say to you, I know it's corrupt.
But then if you say your Kennedy believe that the judiciary is corrupt, he been taking a lot of cases to corrupt judiciary. So that's compromises right there.
So then what do you want him? So then Jones, why do you want him to take the case? But let's welcome ANC Amos George. Mr. George, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Toto.
Mr. George, are you hearing us?
I'm still undecided.
Toto. Yeah, you go.
Okay, so let's come to Dr. Toto, and George, be thinking about your talking point here today, and let's go to Dr. Toto.
My talking point was about the U.S. ambassador about being recalled. I try to get a gist of the politics of
the ambassador is being recalled,
but I don't want to dwell on that much. I want to dwell on June's opening statement when it comes to the elections.
Okay.
He raised a very important point when it comes to the censor. Now, the various political parties, they are encouraging their supporters to register to vote. This censor having some problem. Nobody is raising the issue about it right now, but people ask for the aspect of voting.
Well, then let me ask you quickly here: are you against the process of people registering to vote?
I'm not 100% against the process, but it's very important to be discussed.
So, what specifically you feel should be talked about by the parties, including your party?
So the party, despite the party encourage their voters to register to vote and be part of the process, nobody will be left behind. But at the same time, the various party, not only Jama party, should also make sure that should also be carried on a public announcement to really conscientize the government when it comes to the census report, because it kind of very report. Can we, with all, if the census is not conducted, let's assume that if the census is not conducted, when we're coming to have election, yes, we're still coming to have election, but this is the election year that correlates with the census. And you know, when it comes to getting new districts, and how do we get new districts in the shift in the population? You talk about healthcare or employment rate and all those everything there. It's very important to the development of the country also too, but not with the election right now. But the data from the census will help to improve the work of next when it comes to drawing new districts and things, especially the more populated
So,
areas.
if I
So
try to sense out here, you are saying there are some great pieces missing into this whole process that is more or less the bigger part of it, the election part is there, but there are other components that are missing in the absence of this co-comprehensive. But you remember to say that's just a preliminary here. That's the hook that is being put on it. Are you saying there's a serious issue with that, correct?
oh yeah, there's an issue. There's a problem because the report that came out first for the census report, they said there was a huge population in the southeast, especially in Grand Gita and other countries. They said the population has increased there, which we cannot argue about that. Okay, if the population increases,
Why you don't want to argue? Why you don't want to argue about that?
No, that's why the report again. Let's agree now. Let's agree that the population has increased in the area according to them. Are they going to draw new districts in those places? Are they going to increase? Are they going to draw new districts or electoral districts in those places? So that's the question that they need to answer the question. If the census, so are they going to accept the census report? If the census report says, okay, the southeast are increasing population, ground group population increased to X number, are they going to draw a new electoral district in the places before the election?
If it exceeds 20,000. Okay.
Yeah. So those are what I'm trying to address.
Okay, let's make it more conversational here. Let's bring in Amos George. Amos George, what's your talking point? And we're still going to deal with Dr. Toto here. And these are very valid questions. I'm not sure why these questions not been put forward to the elections official. And we've been trying to get Henry Flomo, who is a public relations person, but still not working out. Amos George, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So Mary again, and Dr. Toto, how you doing?
Okay, so today is Wednesday. I see you writing there by fate of my eyes. Your diary is already loaded.
I got a couple of things on my mind. One has to do with my brother.
Who's your brother?
Henry Costa.
Uh-oh. When you start being brothers before you talking about your brother?
man.
Oh, okay. Well, what are the bond country relationship? Okay, let's hear.
Once you pay, you pay. You gotta come from bond country. We are related.
Oh my goodness.
The next one has to do with the statement that I have been sounding that election is not rigged on the day of the election, it's rigged year before. And the outgoing American ambassador just trying to re-echo that he's been troubled the way the electoral process, the commission is handled. And then I'm still wondering what happened to this arm issue. All the arms that was seized by the government. Why we are not hearing from them? Those are issues that are on my mind. Maybe others will come.
Are we asking? Okay. So, all right, we'll come to Dr. Toto, but let me just play this thing here because it was a bone of contention. It was a serious press boarding issue. News, the social media been flooded with a lot of information the good, the bad, the makeup, the created, and all of that. Well, so you can speak, but other people are arguing. Say he spoke. So let's watch this tip and see, and we will have a conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen,
good to see you, Mr. President, and welcome back to the country, sir. Please tell us a general overview about this trip.
You ask a president about his trip, whether I represent the country, I'm the leader, I have meetings, and this is one of my meetings I went to the United States and Dubai. So
How's the
regular
trip?
routine. It was successful trip. And, we are happy that the year fruit, and we're glad to continue.
Mr. President, my name is Anthony. What do we stand to benefit from this?
Well, I think if you are aware, we've been traveling. We went to COP 26, COP 27, and what have you. And Liberia has a biodiversity, and of course, we talk about climate change. All of us have to play a part. Every country that have a forest, I think we have forest, and we are trying to tap into the climate change funding so we can save our forest, and that is important to our country.
As chief patron of sports, Liberia plays South Africa today. Any message to the fans, to the players, sir?
Well, that's why I ran home, and I wanted to be here with Lone Star to see what they would do, as I said. And I called them when they were going to South Africa. I spoke to them before they went to the pitch. I said to them, there's no prize for losing. There's a prize for winning and draw. But I just want to encourage them to do their best. No matter what happens on that field, we are proud of them. They represent our country. And if they do well, we will reach out to them. And I thought that the 2-0 in South Africa coming back 2-0, I think is a phenomenon. So today, they just have to play well and play very hard because it's a competition that we need to qualify. And score early goals and keep the goals. I've been in this situation before. I remember when we went to Tunisia, we needed 2 draws to go to the African Cup. We did that, because we played together. So the Lone Star that I saw the other day, there were a few mistakes, but South Africa is not a dominant team. If they do well, yeah, they can win, and then try to win the next game to go to the African Cup. Then it will be our 10th African Cup. They are the oldest country. I think we need a history. So that we with them, we support them. And what I want you to understand, the government of Liberia, I see a lot of people say, oh, the president was a former footballer and whatever. It's true. But the government of Liberia is supporting the Lone Star. How do you think Lone Star go to all the trips? How do you think that they're playing? Because we're supporting them. We don't have to all the time yap on the internet, on the air that we're supporting the Lone Star. This is our country team, the Lone Star forever. And this you can see I flew from Accra and just to make sure that I'm at the game. But I hope that my president at that game will year fruit, But whatever happens is a qualifying rounds, they get more games to play. So they just have to make sure they collect the points. I remember during our time, we said to ourselves, every 1 point is a way forward. And that's what they did. Now they have to win at home. So it's the same strategy we use. They use it. We go away, we draw, we come home, we win.
Okay. Are we saying the president is still not speaking? Let's look at the style. We want to come to the substance and other thing yet. First of all, let's put ourselves on the radar. When I say on the radar, I'm talking about the media industry in Liberia. From all indications, the president makes himself available. It doesn't matter how many minutes or hour or so. But let me start with you, Jones. Do you think critical questions were asked during our little interaction?
No. And I say no because from my own observation, I noticed that I think you have pro government social media in that particular room.
How do you
And
come to that conclusion?
yes, the conclusion is it derived from the substance of the kind of question that were put to the president. And he realized that at some point, even the security started to interfere with the press. So there was some hardcore question that should have gone with the president, should have gone to the president. Like, for instance, the question the guy asks, the outcome of your trip. All right. And even the rumor that been circulating in Liberia. I don't understand why people couldn't have asked the president about whether he's even aware of the type of rumor for him to clear the air.
Is that fear factor in the journalists?
Well, I don't think it's a fear factor. I think it was a pro social media journalist group in that particular room. This is from the kind of question that were posed in there. That would be my conclusion.
Okay, hold on. That would be your conclusion.
Yeah.
Dr. Toto, up front, do you agree with the analysis of Jones?
Oh yeah, sure. This is one of the things that we have discussed when it comes to the journalists in Liberia. Not just one of the pro government journalists or not. All the journalists, most of the journalists in Liberia, when it comes to them asking critical questions, they have been very limited. Not just with this visit or return trip by President Weah. Most of the not just with President Weah, but you can see when international guests go to Liberia, when our journalists asking questions, you can see that most of the time their questions are not real structures. They don't ask that question that supposed to generate good answers. I can recall just with the World Bank. I think it was the World Bank vice president was in Liberia just some time ago. They took him on a tour to see one of the park, I think, by the barrier when the government was reconstructing the park. They take on a tour. After the tour, they were asking some questions. I think you can see the question they were asking the man. I said, wow, so it's something that we discussed the issue on the network some time ago. That the journalists will be more trained in Liberia, how to really engage, to ask some critical questions. But it's completely lacking in that approach. Not just under the government, pro government media, but across the board, everywhere.
Amos George, let's hear from you. The president's star. Are you there?
Let me from the beginning. And my first problem, I think the protocol officer said that only one question should be asked the president. Then the journalist himself, before you ask a question, you have to introduce yourself to tell the public the institution you're representing. None of those things were done there.
No, few.
How do I know what institution those going to ask me?
No, some of them did that.
Few did that. Okay, but the first guy that asked the question, maybe I didn't hear.
The second person did call the network.
I don't know. Do you know the first guy that asked that question? So, okay, but I know some guy did himself because I followed that press conference. Now, the next thing that came to my mind, he is the president of the Republic of Liberia. I don't know whether you are trying to be him, but he has to be careful. A journalist asking you a question. What was the overall view of your trip? The president responded. First thing was, you asking the president? What is that? You are servant of the people. You go on the people down. So if you come back and you want to talk to the people. He said they should talk, they should ask you one question, and the person asks you, is that a response first?
So yeah is the thing. And that was that. It was on the basis of that I was asking, I believe, what are malice, fear tactics in the general.
Yes.
Look, yeah, the president, he said that. So why should have been his responsibility? Oh, phone calls coming here. And
you know,
hold on 1 second, caller. Let's hold on, caller. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Amos George.
Go.
What happened to your?
The follow-up question would have been, sir. The follow-up question would have been, sir, you are the president and you try on behalf of the country, and when you come back, we have the right, the Liberian people got the right to know what was the purpose of your trip. That's all I'm asking you. That would have been a follow-up question from me. But
okay, hold on 1
second. Right away, the guy pivoted, and he just laughed. He went back. Then
that has been, and like Dr. Toto said, from all along. But let me go to this caller here on the line here. 404 number. Your caller. Good evening. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing, Mr. So?
Good. Is it the? Let me see. What is the volume from my end? Okay, go ahead. Let's hear.
Yeah, this is Aaron Pobler from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment, Mr. George, to Pat George.
You're sounding so low. I'm not sure what are that from my end.
We can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
No, he's low.
Okay, am I clear now?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
A little bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment to Pat George. You know, Pat George and myself live in Atlanta, Georgia. I haven't met him before, but I know I'm going to meet him one day. But anyway,
yeah, go ahead.
Pat George, let me say something, okay? The president went on a trip, okay? The president went to the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, okay? You want the president to come from the CIA headquarters and come to you and tell you, say, Pat George, when I went to the CIA headquarters, we talked this, we talked that. Every information from the CIA is classified. We got to understand. Now, we are seeing why the American ambassador was recalled now, right? You guys seeing the point, right? There's a lot of security interests at stake here, but you guys don't understand it, okay? I mean, it's just all about partisanship. He answered the question that they asked him. Now you're going to say it was staged. It was a staged question. That's what you're trying to say, right? They didn't introduce themselves. And Mr. So clarified that.
Okay.
Mr. So, you want me to respond?
I mean, let's stop that, Pat George. Let's stop that, okay? Let's stop that. We know Cummings them are the ones who can answer questions. We know they're the one got 15 master degrees and stuff like that. We understand that, okay? So we know that. We agree. Thank you, Mr. So.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Mr. So, let me just say to your caller. I did not say the question was staged. I did not say that. Secondly, when you lead up your travel, we all know he went to the CIA headquarters.
1 second, guys.
Things were discussed, it could be classified. But here's the problem. The president does not have to come and tell people what was discovered. It's classified information. It has not been declassified. All he needed to do that, my trip to the CIA, I was to go discuss national period. I did not say that he explained to the people what he went, who he met with at the CIA. I didn't even mention the CIA. I was only talking about his press conference. So you people try to mix up things. So hold on. When people speaking, you should listen, because your affection.
So no,
or
no, hold on
sympathy.
one second. Are you saying the president should say my trip to the CIA? Is that what you're saying? What you say?
No,
Why the
I
president
didn't
supposed to say?
Now, Mr. So, listen, I did not, if you go to my tape, I didn't even mention about the CIA visit. I only said the question. When the young man answered his response, I said it was like intimidating the young man. That was my response. I did not even mention why the president did not explain why he went to the CIA. No. When I said the follow-up was, Mr. President, you travel out of the country, and the Liberian people are supposed to know where you travel. You don't have to tell them if you,
When you say you travel to the United States, then you say where you travel. Where? What do you mean?
no, I mean, hey, Mr. So, what I know you travel, when the press asks you, you got to explain to the people.
Yeah, but listen, yeah, thing here. Why you don't know too? All politicians, not the president, all politicians are noted of deflecting or redirecting questions.
Okay, but
hold on. If I were asking, if it were me asking that question, I could have asked an open-ended question that we allowed the president to explain. But what that journalist did, he asked an ended question, which almost like a yes. You don't ask yes or no. Now, you know what is that? The president said it was fruitful. What was the responsibility of that journalist? To push forward and demand some answer. Did he do that? He didn't.
Yeah, but the young man just accused me because I didn't even talk about the CIA.
No, not you.
I
I'm
was
just
talking about the president question young man asking. It was an open-end question. The overall view of the trip. That was an open-end question. And what was his response? Oh, you asked me, the whole president? Come on. You are not about the law. Once it was not insulting, that form of intimidation. I did not talk about CIA headquarters. I didn't even talk about the EAE. I just said
Mr. Moderator,
responsibility there as well. I mean that I
have a question.
For who?
No, I'm saying the general should have done a follow-up.
Yes.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
have a question.
That should have been a follow-up, but they said only one question was allowed.
Yeah, the question I'm having is for you and the caller. It has not been proven, even from Joe Weah expression. It had not been proven that CIA did send for His Excellency President George Weah. I have not seen that evidence anywhere. George Weah said he went abroad. He went to the United States. He did not say he went to the CIA. So my question to the caller now is, where is the evidence that, because he said it, that George Weah went to see the CIA or the CIA called him. So what the evidence that George Weah went to see the CIA? I want that evidence from the caller, because it's like it's sinking in now for us to believe that the president went to see the CIA. But when the president arrived to meet the press, he said, as usual, the president go on this type of visit. He didn't specify the visit, but we are concluding, including the caller, that the president went to see the CIA. So I hope the caller will call back and get all the evidence that the president indeed went to see the CIA. Because
so let me ask you.
He confirmed it in his call.
Okay, so let me ask you, what is your take here? Because that has been all in it, and you have a very valid point. What's your take here?
My take here is that as a panelist, we cannot legitimize public opinion all over the place. The president went to the United States. One of the newspapers said it. How authentic it was, the information minister had not confirmed this. The chief spokesperson of the Republic of Liberia, the information minister, had not confirmed this. All right? The president went to the United States, but there is no evidence beside that information that came from that newspaper. So a lot of people tend to believe it. But when the president returned, he said it is part of his normal tradition as the president of the Republic of Liberia to travel and on behalf of the country. It's a normal thing. He did not say, I want to see the CIA. So the issue of going to see the CIA, I think it's a political fallacy.
Okay, here is the thing. That aspect, that before I go to the callers, that could have been the bravery on the part of the journalist. When you see something unusual happening and you see it being played out there, that journalist will have used the front page and asked the president. I don't think anything wrong with that. There are two things involved. The president will either say yes or no comment. And when you see a diplomat or when you see politicians answering no comment, you know exactly why it is. So they should have asked that question because there was a news outlet that reported. They just missed an opportunity. They should have asked that the president, it was reported, I'm asking this question, not to declassify, but I'm asking this question. It was reported unusual that you visited the CIA. How true is this? How true is this information? You're going to hear something from the president. You're going to either tell you, say, no comment, or he lied, or I will speak with the media later. But let's go to this, let's go to these lines here and see here. Let's go to 763, number 77242. Good evening, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, Mr. Soul. This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Elvis, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, and hello to your panelists. The last point that you just made, I think that was an excellent point because I wanted to make that same point. They should have just directly asked him the question, and then by his body language or the response that he would give some, some window into what actually happened. But the journalist missed an
opportunity.
That question. Yeah.
But then
also to Mr. George, I just want to say, some of you guys who are in the opposition and supporting opposition candidates, this is the disconnect between you and Mr. President, We who are his sympathizer, we know that he was joking. We know that he was, having a little fun with the president. You ask the whole president like me, big man like me, It's a common joke. So I think Mr. George have a little sense of humor. The president was obviously joking with the reporter there. But then after all, when people talk about, the president, when he travels, sometimes it's like a little personal trip. He wants to come to anywhere near New York. He has his home in New York. Maybe he wants to pass through and visit some of his family that he hasn't seen for some time. So he always makes trips, and most of the time when he's coming to the United States, he's going on the East Coast. Mostly to probably pass to New York and see his family there. His dog is still there. So it may be the CIA called for him, or the CIA didn't call for him. It hasn't been confirmed. So we can only speculate on that point. But I don't want people to keep saying that the president is supposed to answer every question that the press posed to them. After all, he's working for us. When you ask the American, press secretary some questions they can give you a short answer. So the president chooses not to answer a specific question. That's his priority.
The caller, please lower your monitor. Now you, Elvis. The person who just called, please lower your monitor. We're getting the feedback. Thank you so much. Anybody who listening, just lower your monitor. Okay. All right. Thank you, Elvis. All right. Let's go to 404 number. Then we'll go to 270 number. 404 number 5974. Are you there, caller?
All right. Yes, I'm here, Mr. So it's Aaron Pobla again.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to address two things real quick so I can leave the line. Mr. George, I didn't accuse you. Real quick.
Hold on, Aaron.
Said,
Aaron, hold on 1 second. 270 number. Please lower your monitor. We're getting the feedback. I know somebody listening. If any of you guys listening, please just lower the tone. Other than that, the audio going to be coming back. It will be repeated. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, Mr. George, I didn't accuse you. What I actually was trying to say was that you guys complain all the time that the president don't speak to the press. When he speaks to the press, then the questions are not right. Then the journalist not doing the right thing. So I didn't accuse you of saying anything. And so Mr. Malley, to all due respect, sir, you were the same person on this particular show, reading the report from the State Department, stating that it was that particular report was one of the reasons why the president is going to the CIA. And then today, you said it on the show saying nobody knows that the president went to the CIA? Are you serious, Mr. Marley? Mr. So can play the tape back. I followed this show religiously. I heard you said that on the show. You know where the president went. But now you claiming that you didn't know where the president went. It was on the E-Mansion. If you don't know, it was on the E-Mansion. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mr. So.
Thank you so much.
What
Okay.
E-Mansion? Because I got an E-Mansion website. It's not what E-Mansion.
Okay.
They took it down.
Hold on 1 second. 270 number, please lower your monitor. We're getting a feedback. Just lower the monitor afterward, and you can go back, please. Good evening. What's your name and where you calling from? 270 number 4217. Are you there? 270. Hello, caller. Are you there? All right. There's nothing else I can do. Mala Jones.
Yeah.
Aaron Poplar just literally recorded you, because that was a conversation that we had on this network. So just how we fact check people fact check. Before you speak to that, I would tell you, the journalists, those guys, they missed a golden opportunity. And that's not the first time, that's not the second time. It is not a president business to say that you who tries to get information to the public, you go after the information. This is why when you see journalists, there are some places that they go where they disguise themselves. They dress like the people. Why? Because they are after the news. It was a perfect storm. The first person who really was privileged, what a word I want to use here. The first journalist who ever asked that question, he could have been the game changer and see what we're going to hear the president to say, because that is not a rumor. He could have quoted directly what front page reported. Now, I can come here now to say, indeed, even though we all talk about here, but what is the evidence? And I do not expect the president, even if he did, to come out to say anything, especially that has to do with a security issue. But he should have asked the president that he should have just gone strictly. That was a bullet point question. How your overtrip? Come on. My overtrip is okay. I flew from here. I come back safely. First and foremost, I'm okay. But he should have gone strictly to that question to ask to that point and ask the president, hey, it was reported, because you've been more concrete. It was reported in so outlet that you visited XYZ. Is that true? This is very unusual or something. And you hear what the president want to say, but the one ask an oatmeal question like you're preparing some breakfast. The president ate before he got there. They're serving good breakfast or dinner, lunch, or whatever before he got there. Yeah, let's hear from you.
Well, I first of all want to thank our caller. I think he make it clear that he's one of the religious listener. Indeed, he's one of the religious listener to this platform. But let me just make one point clear here. I am not the originator of the phrase the president was sent for by the CIA. I am not the source.
Do you agree with that phrase?
No.
So then why you made an argument on that here? On this?
Yes, but this is what I said. Okay? It was from the backdrop. I said, if you read the State Department report, you may see no reason why the president was sent for by the CIA.
So listen, Nance. So are you definitive, or you were making an educated guess based on the report from the State Department?
Precisely.
Which one?
I was making my analysis based on the report from the State Department.
Assuming that the president was sent for by the CIA.
Yes.
Okay.
I did not say, based on my report, this is the reason why the CIA sent for the president. We speak in English here.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because the issue of the president going to see the CIA, the CIA sending for the president is different from initiating that, from this report, when you read this report, you will be clear why they may have sent for the president. to go down there. I'm not the source of the president going to see the
Can
CIA.
you still validate that information today from the source, whatever you were quoting from? Is it still validated? Will you still validate that information?
No, I can't validate that information. And I can't validate that information from the response the president gave to the press. Even though the press, I mean, there was some shortfall somewhere, as you said, moderator, they should already help us authenticate this rumor. But they also fail, you see. So I'm not the originator of this, the information that the CIA sent for the president. I said, when you read the report, you will conclude why they say the CIA sent for the president.
Let me come into.
If I had said, when you read a report, you will conclude that indeed the CIA sent for the president. That's two different things here.
Dr. Toto?
Just to add to the discussion, if you go on the e-marshal website out there some time ago concerning the speculation about the president visit, but I think the government Liberia owe it to the Liberian people also too, that due diligence as well as the president. They said that the president met some partners in America, but they didn't really specify or who were the partners that the president met. You know, so I think they need to be more clear to let us know, other than the speculation. That
so yeah, is the thing, and we all as frown on it, lack of adequate information, then people fills in the gap. Yeah, is an independent institution that came in and privileged to meet the president. They should have also pushed, because if print media has already reported the trip. They never quoted anybody. Yeah, they were doing sources, which of course that's a normal thing that we all can do here. But yeah, they come to help the public to see what they can get out of the president. The first question that came from higher overall trip. Is that a question? It's not a question.
That's
a
something.
Also,
that's a valid question to ask the president. Why was your trip?
More or less, it was a receptive one here. But then when the president said it was fruitful, that when he uses that word, there where the follow-up question should come in, and he didn't do that.
Maybe probably the protocol people when I give him, come back.
I don't want to blame protocol people, but I just want to say this.
People don't want behind people a microphone here and get word from them, even when they're pushing you.
No, so I don't want to go down that route. The press blew it out. But what I'm saying, under the Constitution, the president trial on the dime of the Liberian people. So when he come back, it is his responsibility to Constitution to brief the Liberian people.
Mr. George.
And your man hold on there, Mr. So we should not get it wrong.
You're getting it wrong. And I will tell you what, I will tell you right now.
Just give me time. The president is on an obligation to brief the Liberian people once he travel on the dime. If he spoke to the press, the president asked him, okay, he got a pass. But nobody should bear in mind that he's not on an obligation when he travel on the dime of the Liberian people. The only way, I always say this thing here, when you travel as a private citizen, you are not obligated to the people. But when you travel on the taxpayer money, when you come back, you are on an obligation to tell the taxpayer where you went and what the benefit they will get in return. Let's get this straight. Someone said the president can go, he traveled to New York, this and that. If the president on his private trip, I ain't got nothing to do with him. But when the Liberian people are paying for that hotel, get him $2,000 for incidental money a daily basis, then of course, when he come, he has to brief the country. If someone doesn't ask the right question, that's not his prerogative. But we should not let that pass. That no. So I just want to tell our listeners.
Okay, hold on.
There's a difference between a private citizen and a government function.
763 number 7242. Are you there?
I'm here, Mr. Soda. Elvis again. I'm calling back because I wanted to beg Mr. Malley real quick. You know, Mr. Malley, you know, we respect you on this show. We think you're an intelligent man, but please, we don't want you regurgitating talking points from other talk show hosts. You have to come up with your own unique analysis on the issues. So you can say you're not the originator of that talk, but you're just propagating it because you're just regurgitating it to us. We want to hear your own unique analysis. So if you're going to come on the platform and we sit and listen to you as an expert or a panelist, we want you to have your own unique takes on different topics. So I just want to make that point. And Mr. George, again, let me come back to you quickly before I leave. Is that a constitutional duty of the president to brief the
Of
Liberian
course.
public? Can he also brief us through the Ministry of Information? So if he
Do you
wants
have
to
ministry?
communicate with
Do you have
us,
ministry of information?
there's
Hold on,
numerous
Mr.
avenues.
George. Let you finish, then he can talk.
Yeah, there are numerous avenues that the president can use to communicate with with the citizens. So if he chooses not to say certain things because it's sensitive, he can communicate it in another way or choose not to
What is
communicate.
sensitive that you know of?
Classify from that's the point. You don't know if it's sensitive or not, and I don't know. So if the president chooses not to
Where
disclose
did the
it,
president
we can't
travel?
force his hand. We have to
Amos
allow him
George,
to be the president. That's why he's the executive in chief.
look,
He decides what's classified or not. He can declassify something if he wants to, and he can classify if he wants to. So I'll leave it there, Mr. George, and thank you for taking my call again, Mr. So I'll get off the line now.
yeah, let me tell you, yes, we can slam the president on other numerous things. I don't know. We all were having a conversation here. What? 19 was 670, 60 something. Kenny Kaunat visited the CIA headquarters. The former Brazilian president visited, he was called. And when we started this conversation, I say, if the call is the only call, remember why is happening around there. Have you not seen yet, or have you not watched yet, out of the sudden, sometimes a U.S. president, they visit certain country when they leave, when they return, before they can announce that? Have you not seen that? There are some information, I don't care who, they cannot be declassified. As long as you faces the microphone, you give room literally to declassify that information. Even if it is true that the president visited the Central Intelligence Agency, and we know the work of that bureau specifically to deal with issues outside of America that has to do with country to different things, not like a FBI. Then, of course, one knows more or less is a, hold on, let me pick the caller here. All right, 701-465-58. Are you there? Good evening. 701.
Hello? Yes. Hello? You get me, Mr. So?
I'm hearing you. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, yeah. This is Kelly Tail Lion Yakon calling from Fargo, North Dakota.
The Lion. Don't strike on us the evening. Go ahead and good evening.
No, it's not that. I'm only trying to correct Pop George. Pop George, this one, you can read a fight on it. The president's visit to the U.S., he was sent for also to discuss some other important, matters like business and when investment. And the president mentioned when he returned, he talked about climate change. Climate change is one of the major connections this president has been advocating for Africa, for Liberia. Liberia is one of the lungs, if possible, is the lungs of the world that make the world to breathe fresh air. So all these things the president they want to discuss it, and so security matters they're unfolding in the sub-region. It's not every sensitive issues the president would just disclose every duties. There's other way they will communicate it to the general public, as Evis said that. Okay, we can remember when we look back, right? We look at Boko Haram in the sub-region, carry on a lot of condemning activities. We see our military in Mali, they're fighting against terrorism. Liberia in our whole sub-region, Liberia is one of the major countries to defend Christianity and the freedom of religions. And as we have it, as Liberia growing, we have Muslims in our country, and we are very much connected. Liberia is not like other countries where we have other religious, Muslim, Christian, having a lot of complicated issues. No, Liberia is not like that. So we can applaud ourselves that we are society that are growing to, when it comes to freedom for all. We are exhibiting all these things politically, all these things. So let me look back, few months back. This man who was free from Victor Bull, the armed dealer, this same Victor Bull person, then you had a connection on this person. And this Victor Bull man was free, he out. Who knows? And he got an agent. Victor Bull had an agent that communicating with Boko Haram. Remember a few months back, Joseph Waka went and visited a identical agent. So a lot of things unfolding. People are not looking at trying to see these things. So America will first look at Liberia as a priority when it comes to defend her security interest within West Africa or Africa as a whole. So now the CIA head office will be taken from Senegal, will be transferred back to Liberia, and that will be progress. But the climate change issue the president mentioned we should look at these things important. The president had made a case. He has attended a lot of conferences on this global climate change. Billions of dollars.
Also
go back up there, and Liberia is a country that got more than a huge percentage of the world forest tract. It's very important. That could be the lungs of the world that producing global warming.
Thank you so much.
So I will start there, Mr. Respect.
Can you put a quarter on? Ask a question.
So
you want to what?
I will ask a quarter question. Can you just hold you just for 30 seconds?
All right, go ahead.
The quarter being mentioned about the CIA headquarters being transferred from Senegal to Liberia. Or where can we search that now or that information?
Well, I think I saw on front page some information pertaining to the same, president visit.
Okay, all right.
To the U.S.
Thank you so much.
The America also to be the head office of the CIA, some security networking head office, so will be then back to Liberia, and that have connection with the CIA. The CIA is about protecting American security interests internationally and nationally. All these things. So they have to liaise with other countries, and Liberia is like a very close friend with America. America will see Liberia as request with our way of life and everything. We have to protect and keep peace within our sub-region. The president is a president of peace, and those people want to use this president to promote peace within the sub-region. And many other things, but everything cannot be disclosed like that. But are good to be in the Pueblo for Liberia.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
This is why I don't want us to do like these other people, right? These callers will listen to their views, their opinions. We know how polarized the country is when it comes to the politics. Everybody defends and protects their own crocodile like you protect yours. Equally, people are going to fight back. But I think our job to listen to them, and when they say something that is questionable, we cannot validate that. We don't know it is their own saying. It is not the saying of this network, because you say he's quoting another party. Where that party got that information, they would never tell you. So the thing become here is that I can tell you, after the visit of Kenneth Kaunda, over 30 years, it was never disclosed until he died before that information was declassified. And I can tell you today, with respect, if President George Weah did, if he really visited the CIA, you would never know. I would never know. Any other person you can get any microphone to facing, you would never know, because if he speak on that, he literally declassified the conversations being held, and that's the last thing you ever want to do with CIA. However, it was the obligations of the journalist to ask that question. There's no question that is stupid, and see what the president was going to say. But he or all of them that were there, they blew it up because a news outlet reported it. Of course, the government not going to speak about it. The embassy never say anything. You will never go on to a State Department. They would never say it. But we know the operations of the CIA. And once something like that comes in the making, then we know exactly the nature of that conversation. But you will not know, I will not know if that the only press conference we're waiting for, that press conference will not be here maybe until after 30 years or 25 years. That's for sure.
Can I come
push
in?
back on something?
Before, let me not forget. So Amos George, the idea the president is responsible. Yeah, well, I can tell you, number of U.S. presidents, when they go into places, there are some places when they go, they don't tell people. When they come back, you will just know, say, oh, the president visits so, and you will not even get to know the details. So I am only saying this, whether you like it or not, any other person like it or not, if in as much the journalist did not ask that question, they're never going to open that wound, even if he did visited the CIA. So the idea of honor obligation, he traveled. So, I mean, have you not seen somebody, president, people?
So now give me a chance. You continue to talk. Give me a chance. You're missing the point.
Yeah, wait. You were talking. Let me finish my point. I am saying, we see minister of government, we see other government officials, people run beyond them literally with microphone. What did they say? They will say no comment. They will not even speak. They jump in their car. Will you go force them to say? The journalists that were there, they had the opportunity to ask that question. They never asked that question. So you're never going to know whatever happens. They were supposed to ask that question. And maybe from the president's response, we could easily guess to say, okay, maybe this president visited the CIA and from all indication knowing their work, he's never going to address it. Because the embassy, you never see a statement from the embassy. Go ahead.
The point you continue to stress here, I'd never said that the president should tell anybody whether he visited the CIA. Main point. What I said, and you're taking portion of it, what I said and continue to say, there's nowhere on this one that I said the president visited the CIA. No, because it's not on the E website. Or they said the president traveled to the United States. That's all. But if anybody could ask a question, it's level the president to answer or do not answer it. Nobody, you can't force people to answer a question. Okay, let's get that clear. You cannot force anybody to ask a question, to answer any question. You can ask, it's left with the person to answer. They can deflect the question and go and pivot, they go to a different thing. So I don't know why people are coming to say that, or you are saying the president will not answer what he went to the CIA. Nobody told him that he should answer any question that he went to the CIA. If the journalist, as you said, did not ask that question, that's a pass for him. We all know, nobody, everything we see here, we are speculating. Even those who suppose CDC, this young man, we just like he's speculating, assuming that this happened. There's no evidence of it. The Minister of Information was here, never spoke of it. Okay? Never spoke of it. The official arm of the government that's supposed to speak, never spoke of it. So when people who say, oh, CIA headquarters be this, it's all speculation. Or the president met with this vote, it's all speculation. Nobody can authenticate that. If you do it, then we want to see it, because to authenticate that, you must produce the evidence. But there's nothing there. So all we're seeing is speculation. Because the E website, as we speak now, when they say what the president of the United States met with people, nobody name was mentioned. He went to the EAE. That's it. So how come now people are making this analysis that the CIA headquarters moved to Liberia? He met with the CIA director. He met with the people. Where are the facts?
I'm not going. Well, I was just responding to the fact that he has to speak. Yeah. I got one more tip here, but go ahead, Jones.
Yes. The caller that just came back for the second time. First of all, want to thank him for his contribution, and I respect his view, and I honor his thoughts. And I think he said some valid things that we all need to capitalize on to go far away from these information that are not authenticated and try to bring in our own valid and independent analysis. And I agree with him 100%, and I take my appreciation to him. Okay, back to the issue of the president. You know, normally when the president travel and he come back, he tried to be meeting the press at least to get in a little briefing, and which of course I want to congratulate him for that. And whenever the president is meeting the press from the airport, he gave what we call a summary, very, very substantive summary. So the detail of this information should be released by the information minister, where the press will have to question now on some of these things. But as the moderator said, it was a missed opportunity by the very journalists that were in there. That's why I said these were pro CDC social media platform journalists in there.
But
And
how
you
do
know,
you make that
I come in now, Mr. Moderator. You said they were independent. No. So at the end of the day, I'm very sure there were certain journalists were asked to go in there. And if you are asked to go in there, you know what you're going to say. So I also don't hold the president responsible for that. And I also don't want to hold the journalists responsible for that, because those are very sensitive things. So I want to wait now for the Chief Information Officer of the Republic of Liberia to tell us the detail of the president trip.
So who you want to hold responsible?
No, the information minister had not spoken yet. So I'm waiting.
You said the journalists, the people that were there, they were all pro people. We have our correspondent there. There was a live view when the presidents arrived. So, I mean, we can't draw the conclusion to say...
No, wait a minute. We have our correspondent there?
Of course, he was there. The arrival from the RIA. What I don't know...
Did he ask any question?
That I don't know. I didn't hear him asking any question, but they were there. I don't know whether there was a time limit with respect to how many...
They said only one important question. That was the political man on the thing. It was not that it was open-ended press conference.
Yeah, but Pa George and moderator, I think I will want to rest my case and wait to hear from the...
So yeah, that's what I'm saying here. There was a missed opportunity there. Missed opportunity in the sense that the first or two person that asked that question, this is where bravery comes in. And the president who have responded and said no comment. Usually those are the diplomatic answers you're going to hear from politicians. When you hear them say no comment, it means it's just inappropriate. It's not timely to speak to that issue. And even Mika press briefing, which is every Thursday, assuming this is the visit of the president, I can for sure tell you, even during that Mika briefing, if anybody asks that question, the minister would never speak to that. He would never speak to that. He would just tell you, say, no comment, or he would defer the questions and just brush around. I mean, that's their tactic. Is that a normal thing? We see that happening here and there. Based on the circumstances or issues surrounding that, they will not want to discuss, because by the time you say, yes, I went to CIA, second in question will come, and then you will be forced to respond. I mean, that's the strategy of politicians always.
So, Mr. Moderator, I will want for us to give the information ministry the benefit of the doubt, and let's wait and see what unfolds on Thursday from the general conference, because I'm sure the question will come. Someone will ask. So let's get the government the benefit of the doubt, and let's hear the information minister.
We are not going to get anything out of the whole thing.
Let me tell you.
Already said that the president or in America, the president met partners. That's it. They did not list no partners that the president met. They said the president met partners. That's it. They're not going to go beyond that to start naming whether that's CIA in Virginia.
I'm wondering here. Let me flip the point.
They're not going to do that.
But Mr. Toto, if a press conference is called by the information minister and our journalist representation is in there, and he asks, say, well, the president went to meet other partners in the United States. Can you list these partners or tell me about these partners? You don't think the information minister will do justice to that question?
He can do justice.
He can do justice.
He deflect the question.
Let me flip this question around and see here what sort of talking point we will also have. assuming the State Department, and they have done that numerous times, they meet with oppositions and all of that. Cummings, Boyka, Tiawan Gonglo. It happens to me with any State Department official or the State Department invite them. Will we know the nature of that conversation?
Yes. If it is
Some
not classified, you will know.
the State Department
Yes.
is more like a political
You know why I said,
diplomatic.
you know why I said yes?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, I know you are. We're coming to your yes. Everybody has given their view.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Toto, what you say?
I think we'll get some more information. It will be more like a political diplomatic meeting. You look at the State Department. So if they invite
will you know details of the meeting?
We'll get more detail of that meeting. Even the political institutions said I want to go there, so they're gonna look at some morale for them also to come or to try to disclose or some information out. So I think it will be more different from somebody going to Virginia to meet the CIA or FBI or also those.
Let's elevate the conversation. Let's drop State Department and say it. CIA began to have a conversation with other people because they don't know anybody can be the president and they will want to cement that relationship. With that, well, we know, but let's hear Mali's yes. Jones.
Yeah, I said yes. There are 2 million in which our country meet other country leadership. They have something called behind closed doors. And they get something called open doors discussion. The visit the president went on, I want to conclude emphatically here that it was behind closed doors.
Which means it was not a state visit. So you're not going to get anything out of it. That's why it is not a state visit.
No, it was behind closed door. And when leaders meet behind closed door, trust me, they cannot address the press.
That's what I'm saying. His visit was not a state visit. If it was a state visit, we would know more. Since it was not a state visit, we would get limited or no information.
Very good. So the same thing applied to the press here. When President Weah went, according to that unreliable source, that he went to meet the CIA, the press here would have engaged him in a hall. But that discussion was behind closed door. So that means even the press here cannot report on President Weah came to see the CIA. Because why? That mission was behind closed doors.
Okay, let's hear from Ibn George before we wrap up this evening.
Let me get. Yeah,
it's the same thing.
My budget now to 5%. So be shot.
Okay, I think we got 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes. But
it's the same thing. So some of us, we are not saying the president should tell people whether he met with the CIA if he did that, or nobody is asking that. What Mali said, if it is a closed-door meeting, that means it's not for consumption for the general public. But if the president asks, he doesn't have to answer that. He can say, hey, but other meeting or whatever we met, period, or he deflect the question, that's it. Nobody would demand that the president answer why he met with the CIA. If he did, nobody would do that. So I don't know why would do it. Nobody would do it. And if any of the people, whether Cummings, Boakai, if they met the State Department, if it is closed door, they will tell you maybe we discuss bilateral issue. That's all.
That's it.
That's it. You can't go.
Let's see your guy. Let's see your guy. He was all out there today.
West Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, for time factor, you can see her right there. Permit me at this point, because if I stand to ring up Mr. Cummings' achievement, we'll spend the whole day here. So at this point, I would like for every one of us to rap as we welcome our incoming president. Our president
so this is a course that everybody is embarking into. This is not only about our people in America seeking great support, they are also coming to register and vote. So we want to say thanks to all of our diaspora supporters in supporting this process. This is the version of you people who are watching live. Cyrus, Mentor, you're always following us from Nigeria. I'm sure you're on a mission there. Thank you, my brother, for always following the age and the share the live video. Share the live video, Cyrus. Because the guy somebody that is busy with this live broadcast here making sure that you witness this event at your conference. We are on the ring doing all we can because we believe that this process belongs to the young people and belongs to all of us that here. Tata, thank you for joining. Alexander, thank you as well. Appreciate it. John G, thank you.
The leadership of Omega Market, in the leadership of Friends of Teresa Cummings, our young people here who are the future of Liberia, but most importantly to the women and the market women of Liberia, who are the foundation of our country, the backbone of Liberia. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Let me also just say a special thank you to my wife of over 40 years, Teresa.
Okay, Mala Jones.
Yeah.
Amos Joyce, your guy, he was at Gorbachev Market today, engaging potential voters who are going to be making their decision. I guess you guys follow it today. That's courtesy of ANC TV. They had their own crew there today. You follow that? Why you make it that quickly before we go? Good engagement?
Yeah, good engagement. And Mr. Malley was saying something. I was following the show at the time. And that the political party should boycott the election. And I would vehemently disagree with him, because if they do that, then you're not helping the process. They have to continue to urge people to register. The ANC has already gone to court on this election matter. So if you tell everybody not to participate in the electoral process, what are you doing? Are you helping the country? Are you helping the democracy? No. You have to urge people to register and take your case to the court at the same time where you have issue with the system. If we say we just sit down at the end of the day, then we say, okay, nobody go to court, nobody go have an election. What will happen to the country? Is that trying to promote democracy? Even though there are issues with the courts, but we have to continue to engage the court. Because you have to do that to demonstrate to the world that, hey, the system is not working. But if we don't test the system, how can we blame the system? We have to test the system. There are other parties. ANC had a press conference. They urged other parties to join them to go to court with this, because there are issues with the commission and the census. So for me, political party engaging people to register, yes, they should continue to do so. And at the same time, engaging the court. The last time they went to the ECOWAS. They presented a petition to ECOWAS, raising all the concerns about election in the country.
So quickly, let's establish a fire. Was that your argument, Mally Jones, to boycott?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes, I make my argument from two valid points. The opposition is proving to the country that they are coming to do things differently. Annalie George always said the election can become corrupt long before the election day. So what we are seeing here now is that the opposition continue to say the result, even the government continue to say the result is provisional. There are a whole lot of inconsistency with the results, especially from the 6 southeastern region, which will be a plus for His Excellency.
What do you have of events? I'm now one of the favorite.
I come in. Let me end, Mr. Moderator. So what I expected to see here is that I expected to see what I call a pragmatic political party. Since this thing is inconsistent and is provisional, and there are a whole lot of problems with it, we are not going to get into this election business. We are going to withdraw. Then these political parties will be respected. But here is the thing. Going into the election and standing online, getting your voter registration card, the various political parties have already compromised the relevancy of the census. So the day election comes and Georgia wins, I don't want for the same political party to cry foul because you already compromised already. So when Georgia wins this election, you should accept the result. You can't come out and say, oh no, the census were not correct. Then my question to you now is, I told you it was not correct. Your duty was to withdraw as a responsible political party, not to take part in this thing. So don't cry.
So is that a solution to that problem? To withdraw
you want to be a responsible political party? Yes.
So Mr. Jones, on the flip side, suppose the opposition, any of the opposition wins the election.
If any of the opposition win any election, I won't trust them to bring reform into this country because this thing is in the provisional stage. 2, there are a lot of inconsistency there. I will not respect that government coming to power.
So I just told you that the ANC has taken the election commission to court, and also they have gone to ECOWAS. So they are not just
don't register. Say you go on there, sit down, don't withdraw.
Okay, but anyway, that is your opinion. I cannot.
I don't even understand what they are taking. I don't understand why they are taking to ECOWAS. So what's the case? You're taking the Supreme Court now to say what? When they say there's a provisional stuff. So what is the case? What is the legitimate case? And Mr. Cummings, I'm a little bit surprised. A couple of weeks ago, I think I have that tape, but I don't keep it. I'll have to maybe. A couple of weeks ago, he was on SKTV, and that question came about, and he said, well, he was not going to go to court because they said it was a provision. So he doesn't have all of the things needed to take it to court. So what does he have now for which
you go to court? So the court can ask the election commission or the listen to produce the document because that provision is not.
Yeah, but why not wait until it's been produced and see what it doesn't commence?
So you want the opposition party to say nobody should register? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not even talking about that. What I'm seeing here, this sort of concept and this sort of falsehood election will be right. That's the same thing Donald Trump was doing here. There's no evidence. That's it. I'm coming. But so then why is the fear? Where is the apprehension coming from?
Mr. So,
us that which
had not convinced the Liberian people. The population that they gave, we are not seeing the final report.
So then why are you, if you are not seeing
Why
the
are you
funding,
then engaged in the process?
Okay, but because they are dragging their feet.
No.
So the only thing they can compare them is the law.
No, that's not how it works.
Pa George, if you take something to court, for instance, the man went to ECOWAS, he went to the Supreme Court. You think the Supreme Court stupid? You take a case to me, then you turn around behind me, you compromising with the process. You think I will take you serious?
Don't.
I will not. No. Let me finish. I will not take you serious. You gone to the Supreme Court with a case. You said there are a lot of inconsistencies. The other one, and those inconsistencies, they are in the CDC interest. Therefore, you don't work with our system anymore. But you gonna carry the complaint and you turn around, you go send online to register. You already compromised. You think the election? You think the Supreme Court?
Mr. Jones, that's the process.
The Supreme Court will not take you seriously.
So I'm wondering what is he really taking to Supreme Court? What's the basis of going to Supreme Court if you know it's a provision is not being finalized?
You and I are not lawyers. You and I don't always are lawyers.
There's nothing about lawyer business.
Let the legal thing play out. We see. All I'm saying for me.
So then why are you taking part?
So listen,
why are you taking part?
You are giving malice.
Taking part in something that is fraudulent, and at the same time going to the court.
No, Mali. So you have to prove that something is fraudulent.
That's what you said. That's what the opposition party are saying.
So even if I say it's fraudulent, it's not legal. Only the court can authenticate that.
But then that means you don't have the facts.
Okay. So what you think is facts when you go to law, it cannot be facts there.
So that's what why are you participating in the process?
Exactly.
Mr. Mali, I told you that it will be a suicide on any political party to tell people not to go and register. That would be a suicide.
Okay,
you are challenging a system. So why are you challenging that system? You cannot tell people not to participate to register.
So when you challenge the system, you should still go ahead and play the game.
Of course. Why people do protest? Why people protest? On fee, why people protest? You say you're not playing the game?
I think
they say play the game and protest.
Okay, what the discussion?
If you want to get full analogous, they say play the game and you after the game you protest.
Okay, moderator, let me just give one instance here. In six of the southeastern region, 2008, Grand Crew have 57,106. No, I'm coming. 2003, that number went up to 109,342.
Yeah.
That is injury. We are interested. You have to challenge that. One.
But that's what kind of money.
Coming now. In the same 2017 election, Georgia won 90% of the vote in Grand Crew. So the six southeastern region there, Georgia, he's going to take every one of them. He will take every one of them, except you address the censor issue. Now you have compromised the censor issue.
No,
you can't go to court at the same time.
Mali.
Okay, guys.
The statistics you just gave. Those are the evidences you take to court.
But then why you don't take any evidence to court?
But that how do you understand that the ANC going to court? What do you want me to tell you?
What are they?
I should give you a ruling.
But then why you can't wait let the court rule before you participate?
No. The court you're going to wait for them. Supposed the court say we're not ruling this month, 6 months to rule. So you're going to wait.
Look, Mali, I think Mali has a leg here. I'm waiting. I'm really anxious to see the India. And I hope maybe Cummings or somebody.
There are records there.
We need to see it. There's not here. You want to be here. You want to be here. Strategy. So it's a strategy here. The opposition needs to be smart and do what they're supposed to do if they want to win it. Right now, with the NEMA and the CDC, we know the relationship is fragile. considering the figure, these provisional numbers that are coming, we do not know yet until they finalize it. I will be able to make a conclusion. But based on what we're seeing happening right now, CDC does not need Nima County at this point in time to win any election. That I can tell you.
They wouldn't need the 6 counties.
If that numbers, those numbers, if the voting block, the voting group stays from in the south, the eastern side, that's what CDC doesn't need Nima at this point in time to win it. So meaning the opposition needs to figure out a way. In the meantime, while going to court or doing that, they need to go into those same places and check in those numbers and be able to establish a stronghold. That's how you neutralize your opponent. If you stay there and say, okay, maybe they put that they're going to be, I'm waiting to see what that result of the court going to be.
Mr. Moderator, the opposition party have already compromised, and the case is over. I saw Ambassador Boaga sending online, getting her car. But I don't understand you. Anyway, I mean that's your view. No, a real responsible party. By George, a real responsible party that is not greedy for political power will withdraw from the election until those abnormalities are corrected.
Okay.
Through the court. That's your view.
Thank you so much. That's the beauty of this network here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. For both conversations. Marla Jones, Independent, thank you so much. Amos George of the ANC, thank you so much. Have a pleasant
Let it go. 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 Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go. Yeah.
All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for your time this evening.
I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. No way to wait.
Okay, guys, we want to thank you so much for your time this evening. Your comments, your tweet always help us out in this process. Thank you so much for being part of tonight's conversation. For those of you that call in your comments, sharing the evening with us, we say thank you so much. Join us this Friday. More conversations in the making. If this is the first time, we say thank you so much for joining us. Follow our page, Liberia Public Radio Facebook page on Facebook. You can also check us out on the YouTube channel and LinkedIn, so that way you will know it. Always don't forget to hit the notification bell and select all notifications. That way you will be able to get us when we are live. You have anything to promote, to showcase, coverage, let us know. We're here at LPR and we can make it happen. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
So you have to let it go. Your best friend is not your secret enemies. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband are falling in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live in zero, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if they say you will continue to be a zogo, if they say you will continue to be a prostitute. If you say you will continue to be a beggar, you will not marry, you will not bear your own children. If you say your need is borrow, some go to meeting, mommy can say no, Johnny Ginger. Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Oh, let it go. Let it go.
Kroma is the former police chief for operations. A.B. Kroma, former chief of staff, will be my guest this Sunday if all goes well. And we're going to be talking on a lot of wide range of issues. Also, Saturday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, the Reverend Daniel Goba is seeking for the City Council membership in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, right here in the USA. Will be joining me to have a conversation at Reverend Daniel Goba, how work, honesty, and accountability, if he is advocate for all. He's contesting for the City Council seat in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota will be my guest on Saturday, and Kalulu A.B. Kroma will be joining me here on Sunday in a special conversation here. Former police chief for Operations Republic of Liberia, special task force Santo, previous election to provide security. We'll be discussing a wide range of issues. Join me here, right here on LPR. Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.